Hello, and welcome back to In Deep Crit, playing Earthdawn 4th Edition, Legends of Barsaive campaign. My name is Damien Humphreys, I am one half of In Deep Crit, and I am the Games Master for this particular adventure. And I am joined by...
Hello, my name's Ian, and I am playing Mindilel, a Windling Beastmaster.
Hello, my name's Kieran. I am playing Sol Brimstone, a human elementalist.
And I'm Phil, and I'm playing a Dwarven Nethermancer called Thorndor.
Hi, I'm the missing third of In Deep Crit. I say missing third because obviously Damien is being modest. He is really 2/3 of it. My name's Luke Hindmarsh. I'm playing Ashulian, the Obsidian Weaponsmith.
Welcome, everybody. Good to have you all back here in my clutches. Yeah, so we are kind of a good portion into this second adventure in the Legends of Barsaive campaign, which is, they describe it as a living Earthdawn campaign, an introduction to Earthdawn, the system, the setting, everything about Earthdawn. And our adepts have been investigating some crimes that have happened in the town of Haven. Each of the 5 adventuring companies that are kind of big players in Haven have had a piece of a map stolen each. They've all independently come across a piece of a map, a magical map, not really knowing that the others have come into possession of them. A couple of the companies were working together, the Curators and the Strongest Arm were working together. They realised that they both had a portion of the same map and were working together to uncover its deeper mysteries. When those 2 pieces were stolen, leaving some evidence at the crime scene, which indicated another adventuring company, the Gardeners, and our adepts then carried on to investigate, were hired by the Curators and the Strongest Arm to find out who was behind the thefts, uncovered this piece of evidence, went to the Gardeners, where they discovered they too had a piece of the map stolen, and there was evidence pointing towards the Last Cause Caravan Company. Being onto the ruse a little bit by this point, our group went to the Last Cause Caravan Company and basically said, "Have you had a map stolen?" To which the response was, "Come in," and yes. Discovering that they too had a piece of the map stolen, which indicated the last adventuring company, which is Loaster's Lawbringers. On the way to Loaster's, they were accosted by a member of the Lawbringers who they had met in their previous adventure. Taken inside, and the Lawbringers had become slightly suspicious at this group of adepts wandering around from adventuring company to adventuring company, and were wondering if there was something going on. And yes, they too had a map stolen. The evidence left behind this time did not indicate any other adventuring company, however. It was a Zoac feather. Now, a Zoac is a flying creature which our party are familiar with because Mindilel has one. As a Windling Beastmaster, their animal companion is a Zoac. It's kind of like a cross between a lizard and a bird. Kind of 4-foot flying creature. But this feather does not come from Mindilel's Zoac. It comes from some other Zoac. Kind of a bit stumped, not knowing much about if there's any other Zoacs in Haven at the time, but also, cottoning on to this idea that somebody has gone around to all the companies and has tried to implicate each of them to cause some kind of separation, some more anxiety and angst between the companies. The adventurers decided that they would gather all of the adventuring companies together the following morning to kind of share that information. They've checked with each of the adventuring companies that they're happy to have this information shared amongst them, gather them all together, maybe see if there's a way, if there's any suggestions, if anybody knows where this next clue might take them. There's some suspicion from the Adepts been certainly aimed towards Torgak, who is the troll who runs Haven, the de facto mayor of Haven, and perhaps his nephew Rugash, So there was a visit to Torgak's Emporium to purchase a map and see what the reaction was there. Didn't really get much of a reaction. There was also a visit to Vardagul's Law Exchange to see if anybody had tried to sell a map or buy bits of a map, and there was not really much going on there either. So we left it at the end of the last session with the party having just gone round to the various adventuring companies, making this offer for everybody to meet the following morning at a certain drinking establishment.
Sorry.
So the adventurers have agreed with the rest of the adventuring companies to meet at Loak's Legacy the following morning to discuss the things that have been going on. Loak's Legacy is a bit more upmarket in than the Restless Troll, so be a bit quieter. A bit of a nicer place to gather and discuss plans. And that is where we left last session. So it is the following morning. So everybody has had a good night's rest, so you may all go ahead and replenish. I don't think anyone really took any wounds. Oh no, Mindy Lowe, you took only stun damage.
I got
That's
stun
fine.
damage.
Yeah, that heals overnight. And you can replenish any karma that you may have spent on the previous day. It does make you do a recovery test, but I believe stun damage just goes.
I'm
So
happy
you
with
keep,
that.
yeah.
What do you have to press to reset it? First,
There's a little new day and a bed symbol underneath it.
oh, there.
Bottom of
it
your
is.
character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're all rolling recovery tests.
Oh, when you click that, it does it.
You click new day,
automatically.
does it?
Yeah, we'd like to press buttons.
Only if you've got damage though, right?
I had
Yes.
reduced karma and it still made me do it.
Okay, well
Well
make sure your
done,
recovery
Steve.
test is back up to full then. Because you shouldn't have used a recovery test. So you should have 3 recovery tests out of your daily 3, Thorndor.
I only
Yeah,
have
pretty
2.
well.
Use one. No, so you'll whatever your maximum number of recovery tests is, you should be on your maximum now.
So I should have 4.
Mm.
Nice.
Yes.
How do I know what my
Where's that
maximum was?
mentioned on the sheet, sorry?
Recovery tests is under characteristics.
Under
Ah,
your
that's it, yeah.
strength ratings and health ratings.
You'll have
Yeah.
recovery tests and then you'll have daily.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I
should have
just
2
use
out.
that.
You get 2 daily, so you should have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking good. Looks like everybody's sorted. I'll take that stun damage off for you, Mindy Lel.
Thank you.
Nobody else took any damage, did they? No. Okay, all good.
Oh.
Following morning, you come out of your fairly cheap lodgings that you've been staying in. A kind of a flop house with a few other people. No, it's not quite the poor house level of Garland's Arms, but it's a cheap place for adventurers to stay. Just a common room and a couple of larger rooms to pay a little bit extra for. Get up, have your breakfast, wander over to Loak's Legacy, and already waiting for you are several members of the adventuring companies. So present for this meeting are your very best friend Air Beldroth and Nivek Jamar, both representing the curators. Representing the gardeners are Garisha and JT Ferrian. The Last Cause Caravan Company, it's just Alora Sundamar representing them. She has left a dossier at home. Loaster's Lawbringers are being represented by Berman Nobregas and Bosalin Okram, leaving the very elderly and completely blind Chandra Adair at home. And the strongest arm representatives are Ejil Rafu and Azaelit Zhreg, who you obviously know. And they are the 10 name givers already present when you arrive. Settling in, drinking small beers, maybe a tea. It's very unusual You get the feeling that this is a perhaps never before happened moment. Obviously, they get together to send the caravan out twice a year, but that's only one representative of each company. You realise how unusual it is to have 10 of the elders of the adventuring companies in the same room, 10 of the most renowned and accomplished adepts that are in Haven, all together in one room. These are adventuring companies that, while not openly hostile, don't like to work together, don't like to very much keep themselves to themselves, and put forward their own plans and put themselves before the other companies, their competition, as it were. And 10 pairs of eyes turn to you as you walk through the door. Loak's legacy is very quiet this morning. The young dwarf behind the bar is looking a bit apprehensive at the company that is in here this morning, and this event that appears to have just happened out of the blue this morning in her usually very quiet morning shift. As you enter the inn,
I turn to the others and say, I'm not much of a morning obsidian. Perhaps someone else will deal with them before I have a mouthful of sand. Literally.
I will give a very low bow to the 10 elders that are assembled.
big beaming smile on Lilac says, my friends, come in. There's no need for... It's a very lovely bow, Mindy Lell, but there's no need for such ceremony this morning. We are but friends meeting for breakfast, yes? Looks round at the table and Air is sat there, feet up on the table, arms crossed, looking like he would rather be anywhere else, glaring at the other members of the companies. Egil, kind of the same on the other side of the table, hasn't got his feet up on the table, but is kind of slumped back in his chair. And there's a kind of a stare battle, a battle of wills going on between Egil and Air. You know, every time they catch each other's eyes, there's a little moment of who's going to look away first. They clearly don't like each other. The rest of the companies, rest of the people there are kind of fairly relaxed. Elora and Boselin are having a chat, deeper conversation as you come in and look up. Oh yes, come and join us. Obviously, Elora and Boselin were both on the caravan last time you were on the caravan. Zaelit is his usual reserved self, which still is very, very odd for A, a Tiskrang, and B, a Swordmaster. This, you know a Tiskrang Swordmaster, and they're not reserved people. Generally, they're not reserved name givers. And Zaelit is very reserved, sipping a cup of tea, sitting quite neatly in the chair, looking around, very calm. Well, my friends, good to see you again.
And you, Zaelit.
And you brought us here together for... Was it just for breakfast? Or was there something else going on? And he smirks, clearly knowing that there is something else going on.
I walk between the figurative line of fire between Egil and Air, look to Egil and grin, then turn to Air and say, I did not know that elves ate breakfast with their feet. Perhaps I should try, but it might break the table.
There's a roar of laughter from Egil. That's the reason I don't put my feet on the table. And also, manners.
Our friend
Again,
here
this
asked
is a
me
troll
once...
lecturing an elf on manners.
Yeah. Our friend here once asked me to teach him patience, or give him patience. I intend to honour his request if it does take me the rest of his life, which is probably only a few hundred years. a matter of small time. My friends will probably help explain why we're here. I am not going to be as hasty as I have the last few days. Call it hot blood.
Well, on the subject of small time, it's probably wise that we do talk about why we're here, because everyone around this table, you've all got something in common. All of you have had a theft, and you've all had a theft of the same kind of thing. And there is strange things afoot here in Haven.
I look at Air when he says afoot.
I was waiting for at the Circle K, but you know.
The other thing I think is worth noting, as Minderell says, is that each of you have had this theft point towards someone else. There's been an attempt to set strife amongst you. And that is why my friend, I point at Julian, suggested we all meet to try and dispel who's trying to ever set discord amongst you.
Someone clever.
An illusionist, perhaps.
Alora, yes. Obviously, we were the first to come to you with this problem, us and the strongest arm, and you know you have expedited this investigation incredibly swiftly, very well. Obviously, it's led to this revelation of all of us having pieces of what could certainly must be the same map stolen. We've had a little conversation before you arrived this morning. Obviously, you came and made sure that we were all happy to share, but we've shared the information as well directly amongst ourselves this morning. Yes, this is. I personally think this is a bit of a wake-up call for us as companies and our stubborn independence, shall we say, from each other. And that perhaps because somebody has made it so easy to sow discord among us, or could have made it so easy, had we discovered the clues that you discovered, I'm not sure we would have gone quite so calmly to see Garisha and JT. And that could have had disastrous consequences for us, for the Gardeners, and for Haven as a whole. A war between the adventuring companies would be devastating.
And
Almost
who
every
wins? Sorry, do go on.
Almost every Adepts in Haven belongs to one of the companies. Almost. There are those members of the UAE, the unaffiliated explorers.
Who sound a little bit affiliated to each other.
Yes. I would love to give them a lesson on linguistics one day.
I believe you were saying, Minderell.
And who wins if you all take to arms? Who benefits?
We just don't know. We just don't know. I know, there have been certain discussions amongst yourselves and other parties here. And you brought it to me myself. I really don't think. I mean, maybe. I really don't think it's Torgak. I don't think Torgak wins.
Then
Torgak would win by seeing the UAE destroyed, as they are the ones pushing for elections and pushing for somebody else. They're the ones who always come up with a candidate. We pretty much stay out of politics.
Then who here is acting unusually? And I'll side-eye the Tiskrang just a little bit, see if I get any reaction from his face.
Zayli.
Yeah.
Or a Scourge, yeah.
Okay, so you're looking for an insight check,
I
essentially.
am, and I'm very good at insight.
Which, what charisma-based talents or skills do you have?
So my charisma-based skills are. So I've got a lot of animal bond, animal training, animal handling. Essentially, what's at a scrang but a lovely big intelligent pet?
Ooh. I hope those are your
Wow.
thoughts, not that you're
Absolutely not.
vocalizing.
No, it's a scrangs are lovely. I mean, enhance animal companion.
What?
Let me just have a look.
I'm good with wood carving.
I don't think this is that kind of meeting.
But I can work wood.
Must be that kind of meeting.
Sorry, I was just looking for something at the same time. Let me just have a look at your character sheet, Dilel.
Do you have awareness by any chance?
Not really, no.
It's not charisma based, though, is it? That's the-
No, awareness is perception based. Nope, you don't have anything. So this is a straight charisma roll, an unmodified rather charisma roll.
With karma?
Nope, because you don't have a talent.
Rolled a 5. That doesn't seem very good.
No, it's not great.
Can I add something onto that in terms of an action that may help?
What would that be? You can certainly try.
Flipping my astral sight on and see if there's anything murky and strange around Zaelite. Bearing in mind, we like Zaelite.
So I will give you. Give me an astral sight check.
And I can stick karma on this because it's a talent. Yeah. That also isn't very good.
Zaelite is very interested in the conversation, very invested in the conversation. Is the same Zaelite that you met on the road.
Okay.
There's nothing to see here. Not as in there's nothing to see here, but there's nothing to see here.
Yeah. And I guess kind of my hypothesis is, has Zaelite been affected in some way by any of the murkiness that we saw on the road? Any of the tainted that could mean he is compromised in some way. But to be fair, also thinking about it, the thefts have happened whilst we were on the road. You know, they all haven't happened overnight since we've got here. So
The thefts have all occurred recently since you've been here.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
The
acquisition
thefts have
of
all
the
occurred
map.
in the last week.
Oh,
The
okay.
acquisition
Cool.
of the map has happened over a various amount of time, over the last 6 weeks, essentially. But the thefts have all occurred in the last week. But yeah, Zaelite is not under the effect of any madness from a mask, any external effect.
Fab. Sol, what do you think? Sol, have you got any ideas?
I have been observing carefully. I'm not quite sure. Just wondering.
Perhaps there are more questions we can ask, such as the circumstances in which you all got pieces of the same map. that it should be each member of the... Well, that the map should end up in the hands of the adventuring companies. That is one question. Another is, do you know that you have all the pieces? What I mean is, if we knew for sure that all the pieces were in the hands of the adventuring companies, it would look very suspicious.
Yes.
What I've been
Go on.
wondering is who is the cartographer who produced the map? Is there, if we cannot find the information we're looking for here from the guilds, then perhaps the map maker will be the best person to advise us on the details therein.
The and this time is, where's my list of who people are has gone. So this is Nivek this time. Yes, we never got to work out who the cartographer of the map was. This was part of our investigations. As you know, this is an ancient map of Parlainth, perhaps even pre-Scourge map of Parlainth. We don't know the provenance of it, and we certainly don't know who made it. That was part of, our investigations in the repository, was to find out possibly who would have been a map maker at that time and may have made such an incredible piece of map work. It has a pattern. We know it has a pattern. We all each examined it astrally, and they all had parts of this, what we assumed to be the same pattern. So for it to have a pattern, it would have to be named the something map or the map of whatever. We don't know. We've been discussing the areas that each of our maps showed, and I believe you were discussing it yesterday as well. We think we've got 5 out of 6 pieces.
If I may suggest, we may not know who is behind this, but another route that we can take is to find out who could have done this, and that may then tell us who
Well,
was behind it.
what was the final clue that you found? You said it didn't lead to another company, but you found a final clue. Is that right?
It was a Zoac feather. We haven't been able to identify the Zoac it belongs to.
Bosalin. Zoac feather. Zoac. Well,
But not my purr.
I mean, have you got it with you? There ain't many Zoacs around here, like storm wolves, like Aelf. Zoacs are pretty rare, but there is one other Zoac around here.
Who's
Belongs to, it's the companion of a thief called Makari. Windling thief called Makari. Supposedly runs the Jade Tears.
That's the second
is
time we've heard the Jade Tears.
Yeah, they're a bunch of no good ne'er-do-wells who've got their base out in the Smalls.
I believe someone said that they weren't aware they had an illusionist of a significant enough power to have done what has been done here.
I mean, I don't know of an illusionist of a significant enough power to do what's been done here.
What if there was some artifact that could have been recovered from Parlainth? Some ancient knowledge, or some trace of horror that could do this?
If it was a horror, I believe either myself or, I can't remember her name, sorry, the blind Nethermancer,
Chandra.
Chandra.
probably would have seen a trace of that in the artifacts, you'd hope. But, yeah.
I would like to.
Interfering.
Sorry, dude. I'd like to flutter over to the young dwarf barman. Excuse me. Piece of parchment, please. Piece of parchment.
Of course you can, and I'm a lady.
Thank you, sweetie. Sorry. I'll flutter back and I'll be like, right. Everyone, please tear up a piece of parchment approximately the size of the map that you had. And let's see where the missing piece might go. Who had corner pieces? Who had middle pieces? Who had an edge? Let's try and see where the missing piece of the 6 was.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea, says Alora. And yes, I don't know of an illusionist of this power. Maybe the Jade Tears could have hired somebody, or been hired by somebody. But yes, excellent idea. They all, there's a bit of toing and froing as they kind of roughly work out. So the piece of parchment that you've got is not the same size as the map, but they do the same proportions. And so essentially there's 2 bits at the bottom with a kind of jagged cut in the edge, and then 3 bits from the top, and the missing bit is the center part.
Can I think I've got a talent in horror lore. Could I check that?
Yeah, you've got skill in it, haven't you, I think?
Skill in it, sorry.
Yeah. What are you checking it for?
I'm checking it to see if the geography of the missing area means I can shed some light with my horror lore.
You'd need Parlainth history or Parlainth lore for that, really. Give me a horror lore roll anyway. Now that you've mentioned that you've got it.
Yeah.
While you're resolving that, all of these companies were pointed to. They were not. All of the companies were not involved in the theft. And yet we're now going to take the last piece of evidence so clumsily left behind as a sign that the Tears are involved.
I agree.
It feels very much like being led by the nose. Yet again.
I agree completely. I think we are being led to somewhere that has threat and danger. And
So, Soul, there are horrors that could certainly create incredibly powerful illusion effects. You've heard of such things. You don't really know what they would be. You can't name any specific ones, but absolutely, if it's not a reasonably high circle, like journeyman or higher circle illusionist, could well be a horror. Possibly.
I do
I've
have
imported
knowledge.
that to the group.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, I do have knowledge discipline law. You said that was about the different disciplines, wasn't it, rather than my
Yeah.
own? Would that give... Could I use that to test for knowledge about illusionists as a discipline? Or...
Yeah. Yeah.
what difficulty?
Just give me a roll. I'll interpret the result. Again, yeah, there is illusion magic that can do this, but it's any of this kind of effect is way beyond the capable. Well, I mean, if somebody wanted to raw cast it, I suppose, or read it straight out of a grimoire if they came across a spell, but to do it 5 times, it seems pretty unlikely they'd get away without being astrally blasted by something.
Unless they were working for something astral.
Egil says, I mean, what other leads have you got to go on? If not these Jade Tears, then who?
The Jade Tears were the clue left at... That's the Lawbringers, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Lawbringers. Each of the clues were left at the adventuring company that would be most likely to see the other, where the clues led to as their foe, perhaps? I guess I'm making, but surely of all the places to leave a clue pointing to them, the Lawbringers are the most likely to assume the worst of these Jade Tears. I agree that this is the only clue that we can follow up on at this stage. But
We've been able to make friends with all you lot. We might be able to have a nice conversation with the Jade Tears too.
JT says, well, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're getting at, Julian, but I don't know if there's any. I don't know if we, if the curators hate us more than they hate anybody else. I don't know if it's. Not hate. Hate's probably a strong word, but distrust.
be suspicious of.
Be suspicious of. We're certainly no more suspicious of the last cause than. Well, we weren't. Obviously we found the evidence and it pointed at an illusionist and a windling, and that put our suspicions right on to the last cause because of, no offence, Amora, but because of you and, Dosia.
Dosia is quite hard work.
Of eyes.
I do not understand why you as adventuring companies are ever at odds, because you all have different areas of specialty and interest. Surely it is like finding that two different groups are competing for resources in an area, but one wants the resources above the ground and the other wants the resources under the ground. Such has been happening in Obsidian history before. Luckily no war was fought, because we talk.
We might have different areas that we're focusing on, but I mean, you obviously haven't been in Avon very long if you haven't realised that everybody's out to get whatever they can get out of Parlainth.
That is a very short-term view of society. Perhaps that is why I can't see its worth. Forgive me. It is a question of perspective.
Alora, again, you make a very, very valid point, and these events are proving that perhaps the way things have always been done here needs to change. Perhaps, well, I think it's evident that everyone's always seen this as a very short-term endeavour. But it's been a short-term endeavour for some 15, 20 years now. Maybe it's time to look to the future of Haven.
15 to 20 years, that is short-term, but I agree. But
for some of us. Says Alora, who's an elf.
Time is still passing. It wears all things down. Perhaps we should be leaving and finding out.
I mean, for JT, 15 to 20 years is most of his life. Orcs don't live very long.
That's the rage.
Yeah, those that burn brightest, all that.
Die in battle, die in battle. Speaking of battle, I agree with Ashulian. It's time to find some Jade Tears.
It is an auspicious name. Jade is a kind of rock. This is positive. Sorry, I mean...
It's the next right thing to do, and I don't think we're going to get any more gain from this very pleasant company. I think we might have some merit in making new friends with the Jade Tears.
Berman speaks up for the first time. We've been after the Jade Tears for ages. They've caused a lot of trouble around Haven. but we can never ever seem to pin them. We've caught lower level members. We've caught some of their thugs. They've spent time in jail. Some of them have been exiled. But we've never ever caught anything that's tied Makari to anything. If you can tie him to this crime and bring him in alive, there will be a reward in it for you. 200 silver pieces each.
Are any of the Jade Tears you've caught perhaps dead?
I mean, not last time we saw them. We're not in the habit of executing people.
Sometimes people die in the capture. I could have perhaps...
Sometimes people have a really bad time when they're in our cells, but nobody's ever died.
What if we find that it does not point to their involvement?
Then bring in whoever's responsible. Same offer. If you can find whoever's responsible for this and tie him to the thefts, bring him in. I know. Well, I know. Torgak's got posters up looking for Makari as well. He's offering 300 silver pieces, dead or alive.
I don't think it's a coincidence. This all seems very staged, but I think it's our next best step. Find the Jade Tears.
That's why I was hoping one of them was dead. I'd be able to question them. But...
we could get one dead. I'm sure.
Well,
I don't think they're going to be very friendly.
We've found them, haven't we? So.
Are any of their members currently in your cells?
Near death.
No.
Oh.
We do not know if any of their members are in Haven right now.
I'm in the hold up in the Smalls. That's where they have their hideout. We're not entirely sure where.
How many of them are there?
It's hard to say.
Well, 100, 10, or...
Well, like, certainly no more than 10.
I very slowly count the number of us, like, in our little group.
I mean, their membership's fairly, I guess, loose. Makari seems to pick up ne'er-do-wells, use them for jobs, and they either get what they wanted out of it, don't make it, end up in prison, or move on. I guess.
Do you know? Do you know how Makari recruits them?
Nope. I mean, people end up in the Smalls. If you haven't been there yet, then, you know, those who can't make it in Haven, even in the, you know, some of them end up in Garland's Arms, obviously. The ones who still want to try and cut out some kind of living end up in the Smalls. We don't patrol out there, Torgak don't patrol out there.
And that's our next stop.
The bit right near Haven is probably okay, right by the walls. But as soon as you're out of sight of the walls, it's kind of pretty much a no-go area.
Well,
To everyone other than us.
let us
Right,
go.
there's no rabid wolves. Yeah.
Don't talk to me about wolves. But let us hope we can find some way of talking, rather than fighting. We will return here as soon as we can.
Well, we've actually got some more business to discuss amongst us. So if you can meet us back at Trident Keep, which is 14 is here. That is the strongest arm headquarters.
Okay.
We're all going to go to Trident Keep and discuss how we move forward with this situation and how we can perhaps better share information and work together in the future.
That is a good thing.
If nothing else comes from this, your actions have led to a deeper understanding between us, which we wish to carry forward. As a humph from air at that point. Even if not all of us are entirely enthusiastic about the future. The future comes whether we want it to or not.
Has he still got his feet on the table?
He has, yes. Nivek. So, my friends, I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure a capable group such as yourselves will uncover the depths of this mystery and return to us successful.
I wonder... Sorry, Julian.
No, I was merely going to make a comment about optimism and company, but looking at air.
I was just thinking, I wonder what's at the center of that map. I wonder what we might find if we went there.
Our fountain which screams.
Yes, the Screaming Fountain. There may be other things. It's very difficult to get any closer to the Screaming Fountain than sort of the edges of the maps that we've found.
I wonder what would happen if someone put their fingers in their ears. I cannot hear very well now. Perhaps that would help with the screaming.
It screams astrally as well as physically.
Well, I am very glad to not have any magic.
It screams on the inside.
That was very much like the effect of meeting Dosia for the first time.
It is also what happens when someone shows bad manners. It leaves everyone around them screaming on the inside. On that note, farewell.
There's a general scraping of chairs as people get up and pay the tab, file out of the inn.
Well,
when we're alone, I'll say I don't mean to cast aspersions on any company, but if you are the Lawbringers and one of your main adversaries, you don't know where they are, they don't know who many of them there are, and you have no idea how they recruit people, maybe our fates lie with a different company.
I find it very strange that people who adventure are called Adepts when the ones we have met so far have found themselves captured and needing to be rescued by us.
But perhaps not adepts.
You are also adepts.
Well,
we're actually adepts, we survived.
Your friend at the
Famous last
master
words.
no.
So far.
Not. Perhaps we should just return to Kertrat. No.
I will never go back to Kertrat.
Oh, your parents will miss you. I will send messages.
Campaign
will
over.
not
We'll
miss
just
me.
go home.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that, or we'll just hold out for the TPK, just...
We should just go to Torgak and tell him everything.
Not a terrible
Oh, Uncle
idea.
Torgak.
We have set the adventuring companies up to work together. Now all you need to do is point them at your enemy. How much gold how many tabs would you pay us for this service? In fact, if we do it instead as, what if we did this? And then we can say, accomplished. Anyway. Sorry, a Shulian wouldn't be that cunning.
Let's go to the smalls. I feel that it's prime Mindelel territory, the smalls.
That's a windling.
Do
I
we
get
have-
on famously with windlings.
Well, you're very tiny, so you should fit in perfectly.
do we
So
have-
far, we've met 2 windlings, by the way. Both of them really didn't like me that much.
Maybe windlings don't like each other.
What's not to like? We're tiny and winged.
To be fair, no one likes the windling at the last arms or whatever, so I don't think you're unique.
I apologise. I referred to Makari as a windling thief. Makari is a windling beastmaster. With a
I'm
Zorak.
windling beastmaster.
With a Zorak.
We're gonna be best friends.
Or scratch each other's eyes out.
Heading to the smalls, you make your way out of the gates and into the area known as the smalls, which is just to the north of Haven, so just in this area here. Which I'm trying to click on, but it's not happening. There we go.
Oh, there you
This
are.
area over here. Until now, you've avoided the smalls, and with good reason. You've heard Torliak's propaganda about the future safety of the area, but going down the wrong street there can get you killed. The guards in Haven put on a good show with their patrols, but you can tell they're just as afraid as you. This section of the smalls is close enough to Haven to be safe. Mostly. As you wander into the smalls, and there are indeed posters up, wanted Makari, with a rough sketch of a generic windling and Zorak. 300 gold, 300 silver rather. 300 tavs, dead or alive.
If that is the best sketch they have, perhaps Mindelel, there's a way you could earn a little coin.
I mean,
Windling's a windling's a windling, isn't it? According to that sketch.
The Smalls is a really depressing place. The houses are tall, and the streets are narrow. Think kind of a really run-down kind of Amsterdam kind of architecture. So houses almost leaning over each other, balconies pretty much touching over the top of the street. Very small streets in a rough grid pattern. Not perfect, not the perfect straight lines that maybe would come from proper civil engineering, but a rough grid pattern. Clearly, it was the residential area for Parlainth. Hasn't fared well during the Scourge. A lot of rundown, half-demolished homes. Ragged-looking people, emaciated, half-starved children, half-naked, half-starved children running through the streets. People looking at you from doorways, grumbling. Gangs of name givers who are gathered on street corners that seem to melt away at your approach into various dark corners. Apologies if there is any issues with the video or the sound on this recording. We are experiencing some technical difficulties with our streaming services at the moment, so just apologies if this is affecting your enjoyment of this otherwise excellent session of Earthdawn, and we shall get back into it as you are wandering through the Smalls. Okay, that's a phrase.
What?
The Smalls area of Parlainth. Very oppressive, very dark, dingy, buildings towering overhead, very narrow streets. As I said, the posters for Makari are getting fewer and further between and then petering out altogether. You are unsure as to where this hideout for the Jade Tears might be. At the moment, you are wandering the streets of the Smalls, kind of at a loss.
You mentioned that there were like poor children and
Yeah. There's a lot of emaciated name givers around, groups of name givers hanging out on corners, sharing drinks, who melt away at your approach.
I take out 10 tabs. In fact, 12 tabs. And I throw a couple on, I throw 12 tabs into the air and say, I need to ask a question. There's more for any who will answer. Obviously expecting them to scramble for the money.
So a tab is quite a lot of money.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine, but I've only got... Alright, I said in that case perhaps I'd be throwing the hammers, and I'll say... And the
Hammers,
tab, yeah, I've throw 8 hammers then and say, consider that a gift, but if someone can give me information, I will pay them in tabs. 2 tabs for 1 answer.
A dozen children appear from alleyways and doorways, emaciated, rough-looking children, scamper out, immediately start fighting and squabbling over the hammers that you've thrown. I want them, and eventually kind of, a couple of them get the lion's share. Oh, yes, mister. What are you after?
I am looking for where I might join the Jade Tears.
Oh, I don't know that, mister. Maybe my pa does though. If you said you got some of them tabs going, he might know something. Here, pa.
I'm looking around at
come
the
out
other
here.
children and say, do any of you know where I might find the Jade Tears to join them?
There's a lot of people avoiding your eyes. A lot
Oh,
of kids avoiding eye contact.
I pull out a tab and say, it was worth money to me. I have made myself unpopular in Haven.
A dishevelled-looking human comes out. The kids are still avoiding your eyes, shuffling their feet. Kind of. The lad who was talking to you says, yeah. You won't get much out of them. I mean, we're not really supposed to talk about them, if you know what I mean. We're supposed to say, Jade, what? Never heard of them. Sorry, that's what I should have said. Sorry.
Is
Sorry,
that
mister,
not
I
what
mean,
you
Jade,
said?
What? Never heard of them. This fella here wants to ask you a question. Dishevelled-looking human comes out of a nearby building, obviously down on his luck. Ragged trousers, jerkin. He's clearly partaking of a bit of day drinking, of whatever he can get his hands on. Patchy growth of beard, stumbling, shuffling towards you. Yeah? What do you want?
I am searching for a chance for revenge on those. That elf in the adventuring company and those self-righteous lawbringers. I hear that the Jade Tears recruit people with special skills who don't like those lawful types. I am looking for them to join.
Sir. Well, there, sir. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
This being a Shulian, he goes, well, this appears to be a waste of my time then. And
I don't know what you're talking about. And he's indicating his hand, which is outstretched.
I will flip over and drop.
Maybe you got a way of... Come.
I was going to say, and drop a hammer. No, a tav you promised, wasn't it? I'll drop a tav into it.
Holding the tab, being like, why is this not working?
I'll drop one of mine in to his hand and kind of close his fingers.
Now, I think I do recall something. Yeah, what you just said jogged my memory there, little windling fella. Yeah, I know where they be. But if they ask you, I never told them, right? No one round here told you.
We don't know who you are, so that would not be difficult. Not to remember.
Good point. Okay, so you go up this street, 4 blocks, and then you take, he goes, you take this side, and you go along 3 blocks, and he gives you a few more directions, twisting and turning. And you kind of think maybe there's a quicker way to get there, but he's given you a kind of roundabout circuitous route, a few directions, and then you'll come to a street running back towards Parlainth, but it's like blocked off at the end. It's like it's not a long street like this one that goes the whole length. It's like the bottom of a bag, like kind of street.
I say, now I understand what this gesture means. Would you put your hand out again? And I hold the coin up.
He takes the other tab out of his hand and puts his empty hand out.
And I put the coin
Obviously
in my
not like
hand.
this, I'm just doing that for the
No,
camera.
sure. I put the coin in my hand and put my hand down over his hand, probably like massively so, and says, because my question is, which is the route that you would send the runner to warn them that we were coming? That is the route I want to know.
Ah, right, so up here, turn left, keep going 3 blocks, turn left again.
Thank you very much. And I let go of his hand. Like, there was no pressure, just turning. I let go. Thank you. I also will not remember your face because you are human. And I can only see the top of your head.
Yeah, so you've got directions. And he says it is it's the house at the end of the street.
Right. Unless Thorndor wants to skin anyone, perhaps we can move on.
That's what a Jade Tears for.
Thorndor and Sol, could you give me perception or awareness tests, please?
I've got awareness as a talent, I think, so. It is.
I got it.
You
as
can't
a
use karma
skill.
because it's passive.
Okay.
Do you want me to put a difficulty in, or just will you paint it?
No, just give me the rolls. I have a difficulty.
Wow, so.
Oh, sorry, you did roll it already. Thorndor, apologies. So, one of the little beggar kids has got his hand in your coin purse.
Okay, and I stop him.
Oh, I think you might have dropped this, mister. And he's like holding out a tab to you. Think
like,
this must have
yes.
fell out of your... You might have a hole in it or something, you better check.
Yeah, I grab the wrist that he's holding the tab out with, and I say an unlikely story, unto your palms. And I cup my hand below him. And I glare. With a little touch of magic. What does he do?
I'm sorry, mister. I'm sorry, mister. You dropped these 2 as well. And he dumps them in your hand and runs away.
Okay.
I thought, no, you're distracted by this going on. You don't notice anything. But later on, you will notice that you've lost 3 tabs.
Okay.
Oh.
Right, you have your directions to the Jade Tears.
As we're walking past the kids, if they haven't run off, how many are there?
Dozen or so.
As I go past each of them, I give each of them individually a tab.
Wow, thank you, mister. Thank you, mister.
You have not seen me. This is called buying your silence.
Right.
If those Lawbringer types come this way, You did not see me.
I didn't see you, mister.
This is clever.
Don't worry, we know. We know.
So that takes me out to 2.
Making your way toward the Jade Tears. Getting closer to where you've been told their hideout is. Fewer and fewer name givers around. Until you get to the street immediately around their street. And there's nobody around. Clearly been cleared out. Obviously, anybody settling in this area is not welcome. There's a ominous quietness to the streets, and you turn into the street that you've been told they are in. There are empty buildings down both sides of the streets. A load of rubble in the streets. Some of the buildings have fallen down. There's like old overturned carts, detritus of city life all over the street. And at the end of the street is a building with boarded up windows.
How do we want to...
No.
I was going to say, how do we want to approach this?
Walk straight towards it.
I'll flank and go at Julian's side.
Can I do an awareness check? A perception roll or something?
If you want to roll dice pointlessly when I haven't asked for it, yes. There's nothing to perceive really. As you get closer to the building, little one-story building, boarded up window on the front, a sturdy door. So boarded up window on the left side of the building as you're facing it, door in the middle. And as you get closer, you see that it's kind of this is unusual because it's kind of standing alone rather than being part of a terrace or a block of houses. So there is area around the building, and to the left side as you're approaching it, there is like a cellar door.
Can I flick on my astral
Cellar
sight,
door.
please? Sorry to interrupt you. I'd like to perceive if there's any ripples in astral space around this building, please.
Yeah. Let me just. Let me just check the astral sensing table. Yeah, astral sight tested difficulty 11, please.
I'll sling out a bit of karma because you never know. Yeah, that's a failure. But I don't know it's a failure.
Astral space here is tainted. It's quite horrific. So Haven is kind of, parts of Haven are safe. Most of Haven is open astral space, so it's a little bit grey here and there. This area is as you've got further into Parlainth, is tainted. There are astral backlashes all over the place. It's like there's a dirty, oily smear across almost all of astral space here, and you just can't penetrate that.
I will share this with the others. It's all a bit nasty.
We wondered whether there was any sort of
When I'm told that, can I give it a try, or is it a one-person?
No, you can certainly try if you have astral sight. Yep.
Yeah.
Same difficulty.
Difficulty 9, did you say? Or
11.
11.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Dark and
Go
Void
on,
lets you
you
turn you on.
Nethermancer, you.
So first of all, you would not even consider warcasting a spell here. It is so dirty and tainted. And maybe there's something about your connection with the spirit world, with astral space. Maybe this is something that as you've kind of maybe... Whereas Mindy Lel has it as a natural ability, it's something windlings can do, but it's not, unless they spend time honing it and learning it, it's not necessarily that skilled. Perhaps you're just a bit more skilled. You spend a bit more time practicing, looking in different regions of astral space. The outline of the door of the building is completely solid within astral space. It exists astrally as well as physically. Everything on the street has an astral imprint, and there are no signs of illusion or any other obfuscating magic. Is there anything else you're looking for?
Can I sense? I don't know that much how this works, but can I sense life auras or people?
So things work astrally pretty much like they do physically.
So line
So
of sight.
an astral wall will block astral sight as well as it would block normal sight. There are abilities and spells that allow you to move through those astral structures, but generally moving in astral space is... at the moment all you're doing is sensing in astral space. You're not actually... You haven't moved yourself into the astral realm, which would be difficult and would have its own side effects depending on how safe the astral space is at the time. You probably wouldn't want to go wandering in astral space out here.
Would I be able to use those successes then if I did want to weave a pattern to kind of make that an easier process sensing the...
Well, I'll say with those 3 extra successes, you won't need to roll again for the rest of this adventure for sensing astral space.
Okay, that's for me then. I'll say the others.
That's a lot of extra successes.
I'll say to the others, I sense what you described, Mindalel, but everything seems to have an astral signature. I see nothing that indicates a horror or indicates an illusion. It seems solid. I can't see in the building, but from outside it seems
tainted means definitely horror tainted.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's not an actual horror at that moment.
Yeah. But yeah, so all of Parlainth, from what you've heard, is tainted. Some of it's even corrupt, which is possibly there's still horrors there, or they've been very strong horrors there in the past.
Well, I wonder if we'd find that they're in this cellar. But I would go straight forward unless someone wishes to stop me. I'm just going to bang the door again the same way. Julian likes to keep things simple.
Okay, I'm on the wrong page. Banging on the door, yeah?
Yeah.
A slot in the door opens up, like a little hatchway, and a pair of orc eyes look out at you. Yeah, what?
I am wanting to talk about stolen maps.
Why you come to the wrong place? Slams the thing shut.
I banged the door 5 times harder than I did before.
Is this an attempt to knock the door down?
No, just to make it obvious that it would not be a great idea to think that a puny little thing is going to stop an obsidian.
We could do with a chat.
Can I ask a quick technical question? When you weave a thread, how long can you keep that thread woven for? Or does it have to be immediate before you...
I believe it's until you cast the spell. Let me double check that.
This could go sideways fast, so I'm going to get the weaving out the way now.
We've put in, as far as I'm aware, Oh no, you must, having woven the required threads, the magician must cast the spell during the next round. Some high circle talents may allow a magician to weave threads and cast a spell in the same round. Yeah,
That's
they're not.
disappointing.
They don't last for that long.
Okay, thank you.
There are, as you get higher level, there are other types of matrices that you can have pre-woven threads into. But at this circle, yeah, you have to cast it straight away.
No, that's no problem. I was just wanting to be prepared just in case.
Remind me of the name of the chief thief in this place again. I forgot it. Sorry, Makari. Makari. I bang the door again very loudly and say, I have had those stinking lawbringers claim I was involved in stealing their stupid map pieces, and they are trying to say I work for Makari. So I am coming to speak to Makari and to find out if I'm going to be blamed for it, whether there is a job. I want to get back at the stinking lawbringers. I will come through this door either by invitation or I will take it off because I am very, very unhappy. Domp.
We could do with a little chat.
There is no response from the door
All
or
right.
from anyone behind the
I'll
door.
smash the door open then.
Okay, give me just a quick moment to do some things, because I was obviously not knowing which way you were going to approach this.
Not subtly. That should be obvious by Julian by now. Hence I said, unless someone stops me, I'll just go through the door.
No one wants to stop you.
I would be stopped very easily by my friends. A simple, I think that's a good idea. It's never too late.
I don't think there were any great ideas in this situation.
They let
Right,
the children
okay,
live in misery, whilst they probably go around stealing. Frighten them at the same time.
Right, okay. And you want to bash down the door?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand behind Ashulian and keep watch on the trapdoor side in case something comes up.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to have to attack the door essentially.
Okay, you
Just the
don't want
way
like
it works.
strength test then or anything like that, you want?
No, so barriers and doors have essentially they have an armor rating and a death rating. The difficulty to hit them is not very high, obviously. So
Thank goodness.
if you make an unarmed attack,
I don't have unarmed attack on my combat thing, so what would I do?
so
I just roll
that's
the
dexterity.
roll the unarmed combat skill then.
Oh, unarmed combat skill. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry.
cool.
So yeah.
What difficulty?
One.
As I totally missed. Did you say one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I totally missed to hit the
It's a door.
Oh,
This is kind of just.
Well, that was lucky, wasn't it?
Down, really.
and then what do? Roll damage.
Yeah. Damage is your strength step.
So that's a D8 plus D6. So can I just roll strength then?
Just roll strength. Yeah. Okay. The door shivers but holds firm. Haven't done any damage to it so far.
This is a strongly bound door. I'm not going to muck about. If they're going to play games, I'm going to take my axe out. If you want to still have a door, I suggest you talk. I am very cross. I do not like being blamed for things I have not done.
It would be
Not
lovely
being
if we
paid.
could.
Sorry. Cool.
It would be lovely if we could have a chat. We're not here to make enemies. We're here to make friends. I'm very cute and windlingy.
Give me a charisma check.
That was what I wanted you to say.
I'm still on blind GM roll.
Not great.
Thanks.
Not great.
Well, if it stops you bashing our door in, I'll come and open the door.
I immediately stop thwacking at it.
Oh, that's the door's there, right, okay. Right, let me pop you on this map then. Have you got Per with you, Mindy Lau?
Oh, always.
As they say that response, and I've stopped banging on the door, I want to say very loudly, like Obsidian Man loudly, Mindy Lau, you better talk for me now because I'm so angry. I need time to calm down. I say something I regret.
I say soothing things in Windling to
You all who know me
Julie.
can see that I'm actually quite angry, but it doesn't make any sense because it's obviously not. I'm not angry about this situation, which is a lie. I'm angry about something else. It's bothering me.
Ah, we have a new map. This is
We
exciting.
have a new map.
With doors.
Yes.
Are they locked, or can we click on them?
Well, so you can click on them, but I'm just opening these ones for you now.
Cool. Various thugs.
Oh, does it show the name, does it?
Yeah, it's quite funny.
It's quite cool because it actually puts various thugs on when you drag them on as well. Doesn't do the same token, it does like a random token.
Ah, right.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So they are, in fact, various thugs. It opens the door and steps back. Right, come on in then. Wow, you're all walking in step. Why are you all walking in step?
I don't know.
So
I'm
I've
not
tried to
moving.
move me, and I can move everyone.
Everyone.
Stop it.
Right, stop there. Stop. Everyone stop. Stop moving your tokens.
Sorry. I was just trying to
You
move me and
must
her.
have dragged over everyone. Why can't I move Soul?
I don't know.
Right, it's just a bit laggy. Technical difficulties. There we go, you are all in. That's everybody in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I will again perform my elaborate bow.
Could you all make perception or awareness tests, please?
Certainly.
Any
I really
difficulty
should
or
have
just
got awareness.
There is a difficulty, but I'm not telling you.
No such a
Eight.
tease.
8, 7, 7, 4. Do you want to roll for Per as well? Maybe
Yeah.
now?
Oh god, yeah. It's Per's ace.
Odd. Roll my awareness instead of perception.
Yeah.
If you've got awareness, yeah.
Although if you've got one rank in it, won't that just increase your... Oh, it increases your step, doesn't it? So that changes the
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
A bad thing.
No,
Soul's
no,
running
no,
away
no,
by the
it's
looks of it.
Oh.
I'll move you back in, Soul.
good. No, it's
I'm not touching it at all, I promise.
That's
No,
what
it's
she
fine.
said.
Fine.
Marginally better.
Okay, so you all notice that in this room over here and this room over here, there
Okay.
are more thugs hiding.
Which room over where? And so that one,
This
both
room
these
over
two at
here,
the bottom.
this room
Yeah.
over here. Yeah.
Both of these doors.
Just as this one who's let you in is like, right, lads, let them have it.
Great.
And we're going to roll for initiative. Well, we're not going to roll for initiative. We're going to declare actions. The thug in front of you is drawing a dagger. The other ones that you've seen moving are preparing slings and moving towards the various doorways. So we're going with the full combat rules now, as we kind of discussed a couple of sessions ago, but we haven't used them as yet. So the way a combat round works in Earthdawn, first of all, everyone declares intentions, and then we roll initiative, and then we resolve those declared actions, so on and so forth. I've given you a list of combat options that you can take at various times, different combat options. Mindy Lel, if you did want to use mounted combat with Per at any point, then we can. It's an action to get onto a mount, basically. Yeah. And if it's a trained mount, that's absolutely fine. It then shares your initiative, and Per does count as a trained mount. But there are other things you can do with mounted combat.
Okay.
And indeed aerial combat. So we are, yeah. The thugs are moving to attack. The one in front of you is drawing a dagger and is about to attack Thorndor. The other three are putting bullets to their slings, stones to their slings, and about to attack. So we'll go around. Mindy Lel, what are you going to do?
So, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to try and... Oh, it does... So I'm going to try and calm people down before violence occurs. But if people start fighting before me, then I'm going to claw shape and cut the dude in front of me's face off.
So I need a declaration of one of those. Either you're trying to calm the situation down or you're attacking.
Calm the situation down. I'm going to try and stop fighting, and I'm not going to order Per to attack. You know, we need to stop this.
Okay. Thorndor.
It would depend on whether one of the options said defensive stance. Can I weave a thread and do a defensive stance, or are they both the same kind of major action?
So let me just have a quick look. It's a good question.
I looked at it, it wasn't
-3 penalty to all tests. So
yeah.
Yeah. So yes. My instinct is yes, you can. Let me just have a quick look at the combat options.
I will take a defensive stance and try and weave a thread for Astral Sphere.
Defensive stance. Character adopts a defensive posture that reduces the chance of being hit. The character adds +3 to his physical and mystic defense for all attacks directed against him this round, but the character only receives this bonus against attacks he is aware of. The character suffers a -3 penalty to his tests that round, except for knockdown tests. Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm preparing to do.
Weaving a thread to which spell?
Astral Sphere.
Okay. Sol, what are you doing?
So I'm doing a couple of things. I'm going to do acrobatic defense, which is a simple action, but then I'm also going to cast Woodskin, which is a talent that I have, and I've not used it yet.
Okay.
To do a roll for both of them.
Let me just. Well, we'll do that in initiative order. So. Acrobatic defense. You don't have acrobatic defense. Oh, you do as a skill. Yeah.
Skill, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Woodskin's a talent.
Yeah, okay. I'm just checking. And Woodskin is a standard action, right? Yep, okay. That is all good. And Julian.
I believe I said I had taken out the troll axe in an attempt to. I was
Okay.
going to split it. So I just raised that, but I stomped forward the 2 hexes and steps round Thorndor in an aggressive stance and bring the axe down, trying to cleave the deceitful dwarf. Is he a dwarf?
Orc,
Yeah.
I think it was.
I
he
think
an
he's
orc?
an orc. Well, yeah, this one's actually an orc.
Okay, sorry. So
It's the orc who. Yeah.
cleave him and attempt to cleave him into with the troll axe. So aggressive attack, and yeah, they had their
If I do
chance.
that and toggle combat stay. Yes. So we now have everybody in the combat tracker. Again, if you right click on the crossed swords at the top of the chat box. And I'm actually going to give them all the same initiative.
Oh, how do I do initiative again?
It's like an.
If you open the combat tracker, there's a little
Yeah,
dice next to your name. Just click on that.
I'm clicking.
to the far right of your name.
Yeah, I
So,
don't have a
question with
No, I don't
them all
know.
being on the same initiative, is that something that's standard for Earthdawn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can roll it for you both.
I have certain pretty strong views about enemies being all on the same initiative whilst party members aren't all sharing an initiative. Because that used to be an option in a lot of other game systems. It was either individual or it was group, and it was 2 group. Because it gives the party potentially either a ridiculous advantage or a big disadvantage, depending. Your call,
Let me
of course, if it's
just check.
Earthdawn's rules, it's fine. I'm sorry to gripe.
So actually, it is an optional role.
Fair enough. But you are the GM, so I will shut my mouth.
Yeah, I prefer to have groups of similar enemies going on the same initiative. Just makes it easier for record keeping for me. Find it speeds things up a little bit. You haven't rolled Per in.
I don't have a dice for either myself or Per.
Oh.
Kieran was able to roll for me.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran.
That's strange.
Yeah, I didn't have it either.
Weird.
Yeah, it's
I'll have to check the
a
settings on
strange
all of those.
glitch.
Okay, we are ready to begin. As you raise your troll axe, Julian, and begin to step forward. Yeah, that's because I got them all selected. Right, there we go. Let me just... What's your physical defense, please? You are blindsided, so it's at a... I believe a -2. Let me just check. Yeah, -2.
So it's normally 8. It'll be 6, but then I
So
am
6.
aggressively attacking. So if that counts at this stage, then I'm at a additional -3, I think, on my physical
Yeah,
defense.
it does count.
There you go.
Wow. Something flashes out from this doorway to your right, this doorway over here.
Yep. Not surprised since it's open.
Something streaks out. Claws. At the last moment you catch sight of a windling, claws extended, streaking towards you, very much like you've seen Mindy Lell do in the past. Claws outstretched, sinking its claws deep into your flesh. Got 5 extra successes on the attack roll.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't do it off the inventory. That was... Never mind. So it's... There we go. So 16 damage, actually not horrific damage given how many extra successes there were.
Is that 16 damage taking into account my armor, or just...
So your armor, so it's 13 after armor applied. I've just done apply damage.
Alright,
It's just applied it for you. As this ferocious little windling flies out of the room and sinks its claws into your, as you're raising the troll axe into kind of your underneath your bicep right there, causing a lot of pain.
Not as a factor of my amount of health. It's trivial, but okay.
Per is up next.
So I didn't give Per kind of an action, to be fair. So I guess because I didn't, I can't say Per's going to do anything other than just kind of, be defensively flapping near me and protecting itself.
Okay.
And looking cute, yeah.
Oh, stunning.
There you go, that's an action.
You do see another Zoac come flying out,
The one.
and is also going to go after you, Ashulian. And I'll take off blind GM roll now. Attempting to bite you. You're not blindsided now, though. But you're defensively attacking. You're aggressively attacking, so you
I
get a
am,
-3, right?
That's... I believe
So that's a hit with an extra success. Yeah, it is. It's -3 to all defenses. For another 9 damage. Following up on the claws, this Zoac comes in and goes for almost exactly the same place as Makari is just pulling their claws out of. Bites into the flesh, the rocky-like flesh under your arm. Sol, over to you.
So I'm doing acrobatic defense and skin, so
Yeah,
roll
so
for-
that's a roll against, I think it's the physical defense. Let me just double check. We've had this before. Adept makes an acrobatic defense test against the highest physical defense of any opponents in close combat range. So, within 2 yards. I mean, you don't have anyone in close combat range at the moment. So there's not really anyone to make an acrobatic defense test against.
can I not do one proactively? Because I don't think I get to do one otherwise ever.
It's against anyone within 2 yards and within close combat range, and nobody's in close combat range of you.
Okay, I'll just cast Woodskin then.
Okay?
I can do that, can't I?
Yeah. So Woodskin works by... I believe that goes onto your health ratings. Yeah. Makes a Woodskin test, adding the result to his health ratings for his Woodskin rank in hours. So for 1 hour you have plus... Is that 3? It's
Yeah.
3, isn't it? Yeah. +3 to both your health ratings. Your unconsciousness and your death rating.
Okay. So it's just helping me increase my survivability.
Yeah, are you moving anywhere?
I'm just gonna... I'll stay there for now, actually.
Okay, the Thug's turn. So this one is going to target Thorndor, as he said.
You get that
Dagger.
-3, I think, or whatever it was, for the defensive thing.
Yeah, so you're got a defensive stance going, right? So +3 to the difficulty. He still gets you with his knife. He just comes under your defensive stance.
Seeing him
Gonna try avoid blow.
trying to avoid that, yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot to avoid. Not like that.
Oh, he rolls terribly for his damage. So you take 3 damage after the armor is applied.
I've done it automatically, or do I need
Yeah, I
to?
should have done it automatically, yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay. This thug is going to move to here and also launch a sling at you, Thorndor. Launch a sling stone at you.
The defense things still apply. Or
Yeah,
in
but
combat?
so the full combat rules. If you're splitting your movement and attacking, you count as harried. So you get a -3 to your tests.
Move, attack, move is harried.
Yeah, that's what he's doing essentially.
Right, I see.
Yeah, but he hasn't moved very far yet. But yeah, so he's going to be harried, which is -3 to his tests. But he gets it's just that negates the bonus he gets from. Well, I don't know. So it increases the difficulty, doesn't it? Sorry.
It'll be -6. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, -6. So it goes to difficulty 12. Yeah. And he fails. But he drops his sling. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 as he moves up to here. Drops his sling to the floor and draws his dagger as he moves nearer. This thug is moving out here and is going to take a shot at Mindy Lel. But he's not carrying on moving, so he doesn't have the -3. Still fails to hit.
Haha.
He is coming out here, also targeting you, Mindy Lel,
Slag.
and fails to hit. As sling bullets are whistling through the combat now. And we go to Ashulian.
I'm stuck with what I initially said, aren't I?
So your declaration was to attack, so you can still attack.
It was to attack to move and attack a specific target.
Yeah, but now you can't move, so you can still attack if you like. I'm not going to say you lose the entire action, you just lose the movement part of it.
So Zoak can stop me moving. That's it. Okay, well I'm going to then attack Makari then. Swing the axe down because it's almost like the attack into my arm forces the axe to just come instantly back straight at its face, which we'll see whether or not has any effect. So I've got control axe, step modifier +3, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's +3 for aggressive attack. Yeah.
Karma, I'm going to use 1. What's the difficulty?
If you target Makari first, it should give you the difficulty.
Okay. Okay, first. Hang on. Go through the whole process again. Wow. 12. $33.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
He's going to attempt to avoid that. Difficulty
I take it
33.
because I was blindsided, I couldn't attempt to avoid. So hence I didn't use my...
Yeah. No, you didn't see him, so...
I suppose I could have done on the...
Yeah, you could have done, yeah.
Okay.
He completely fails to avoid your blow anyway. So go ahead and apply that damage.
which also gets +3, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I don't know, when I click roll damage, it's probably not going to give that +3. I don't know. But that's going to be a step thing, so... Normally doesn't give you an option to adjust.
Combat options table. Aggressive attack. +3 bonus to attack and damage tests.
So perhaps I can click aggressive attack. There we go. Now it's fine. Now I can do it.
Yeah.
Step modifier 8. What?
So it's so it's not actually a. My apologies. I've got this wrong. It's a +3 numerical bonus as opposed to a +3 step bonus. You've already rolled the attack, so that's fine. So instead of it being +3 steps, it's just a flat +3
Right.
for your attack and to your damage.
Okay. So when it's saying step modifier and it's giving me an 8 on miscellaneous modifiers,
That's because you got 4 extra successes.
I'm still going to... Okay. So it's still going to take into account the 9 step 9 that's already there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you rolled step 29 and rolled a 29. So go ahead and apply that damage. Yeah, you absolutely hammer Makari with your axe, opening a huge wound, almost ripping off one of his wings. Absolutely, yeah. A good, solid hit. Bleeding profusely.
Do I knock him down?
Mindy Lel. Sorry?
He's got to take a knockdown test at difficulty 16, so do I knock
Oh,
him
he
down?
does, yes. Apologies.
It's alright. You've got a lot to keep an eye on.
So that's a toughness test. Have anything that can help? Difficulty 16. Yeah. And it is knocked to the floor. It is knocked down. So knocks down. Click on that. There we go. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, you absolutely bring your axe down and huge gaping wound across Makari's shoulder into some of the wing muscle and slap, follow it down, almost impale him on the ground with the troll axe. Ah! Mindy Lel.
Wonderful. No.
Calm this situation down.
I will calm the situation down by decisively striking the one in front of me.
Your declared action was to calm the situation down. How are you calming the situation down?
Through violence. It's the best way to calm a situation down.
Your declared action was not to attack.
There's no... I sense there's no further negotiation that can be tried upon this. The spray of blood from a gaping axe wound does make it harder to try and calm the situation down. So I will say to the thugs in front of me, stop this right now. Stop this. No one has to die. Stop fighting.
Give me a charisma test, please.
Can I have any kind of bonus due to the vicious battery that just happened to Makari?
No.
That
And
was
your-
your optimism here.
Again, that's the intimidation factor, isn't it? Surrender or you're all going to end up as dog food.
Can I have additional extras for Per being all glorious? Go on.
So you only have a difficulty of 3,
Okay, that's cool.
but as they are hostile, you need 4 extra successes.
Can I use karma because of my windlingness?
No.
But it's just
that wasn't a-
one success, no.
Yeah, there is no change in the demeanour of any of the thugs.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Oh,
They have an actively hostile attitude towards you.
okay. Oh, you're making a terrible mistake.
Thorndor.
Not you, by the way, the thugs. Well,
I
actually,
make
you.
terrible mistakes.
I will attempt to weave my thread. I get a -3, so
Yeah.
how do I do that?
So go on your character sheet under combat and click. Hang on. Click
Yeah,
defensive.
click defensive stance.
Ah, okay.
That should. It's one of the things that works. The taking damage and knockdown buttons don't work on there, but
Right.
other
thank
things do, as far as I can tell.
you. Okay, I will attempt to weave my thread. Not like that.
Not like that, you won't. No, there's suddenly, like, you know, you were expecting a bit of trouble, but suddenly you're surrounded by thugs and flapping zoacs and a huge arterial spray of blood from whatever Ashulian's just absolutely twatted with his axe. Because you haven't had time to look around and see yet. Yeah, just can't quite get
Yeah.
the thread together. Okay. If we could all declare intentions again then, please. So, I'm going to start with what the NPCs are doing. Mikari is going to attempt to jump up, and as a simple action, and attack Ashulian again. The Zoac, whose name is Howland, interestingly, is also going to attack Ashulian. The thugs in front of Mindilel and Thorndor are going to carry on trying to stab Mindilel and Thorndor, and the two thugs by the doors are going to carry on firing sling bullets at Mindilel and Thorndor as well. Ashulian, what are you going to do?
I mean, I'd really like to just curb stomp this irritating little thing, but I suspect that's probably quite a disadvantage in the combat rules, so I'll just swing my troll axe and try and split it in two.
Okay. I mean,
I'm
you could
an
try and
aggressive-
stomp on it. It would be an unarmed attack.
Precisely, which is a massive disadvantage. It seems ridiculous to me, but anyway, I'm just going to swing with an axe, like I'm chopping
Yep.
wood. And I'm going to be... so this is interesting. So if aggressive stance is just a +3 numerical, it's not worth the rather massive whack to defense, because the defense number drops by 3.
Yeah.
That is quite well, no, I see what you mean, because it's +3. Yeah.
Yeah, so rather than 3 steps, it's a +3. So it's a straight trade-off essentially for.
I'm going to
attack
keep.
power
I'm going to
and
keep up.
defense
I'm going
power.
to keep it up. We'll see who lasts
You should
longest.
be able to, if you go to the compendium,
It's all right. I'm
you
not going
should be able to drag an unarmed attack on if you wanted to do unarmed attack, and that would set it up. No? Okay. So you're going to just carry on with the axe.
because I'm considerably better with the axe.
Soul.
No. Weave threads to cast air armor.
Upon yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna see. I weave extra threads. Determined by the roll.
You can attempt to, yeah.
I don't have to change anything on the input, do I?
It's more difficult to weave extra threads. We're not doing that yet anyway, though. If you can just check that spell for that rule for me. I believe it's additional threads.
Oh, it says extra threads Remember, you can
Yeah.
only weave 1 extra thread. So if I just change that number to 1. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do that when it comes to your turn anyway. So you're weaving a thread for air armor, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thorndor. You don't need to roll it yet. We do it in your turn,
no.
Kieran.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we'll take the result when it gets to your turn. Thorndor.
Quick question. So the hexagon thing, you can move without attacks of opportunity, can't you, if you got
Yeah.
things? So as far as I can tell, I can move between the Zoac and the Thug, and then I can move round the Zoac, but there's half a hexagons. Can I stand there and reach the windling thing?
Yeah, you can. So over here, you mean you can get into that doorway? Yeah.
Yes, so I'm going to move there, and I'm going to stab him with my dwarf sword. I'm giving up on the magic. It's not happening for me today.
Are you still defensive?
Right, okay.
Make sure you click it off your.
I already unclicked it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mindy Lau.
I'm going to reduce the combat and kind of manage all of the, this unnecessary violence and calm everyone down by clawing off the face of the thug that's directly in between kind of myself and Thorndor. Per is going to get the one to his side that's in front of me.
Okay.
Through a bite attack.
Cool.
You Mindy Low.
So
yeah.
that's... And you still don't have a dice, Mindy Lau.
So, here we go. No, but if I roll over a blank space, I can roll initiative, or I could do.
Yeah, it's like a little white space.
No, I don't even. No, I literally have no discoloration to the screen whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
But I've been able to just hover over some white, some like.
Macari. Oh God.
Yeah. So Mindy Lau.
Nice.
First.
Right, let's do this. So the first thing we're going to do is this, and I am going to claw shape the dude's face.
Nice.
Where's that? Oh, there we go. Go there.
Going to get
Right,
right up
okay,
in his
so
grill.
yeah, so it's an unarmed attack.
Oh, do you want me to roll an unarmed attack? Unarmed
No, so
combat.
you click on your claw, right? Because that works out your unarmed attack and uses claw shape as your damage
Yes.
step. So click on the claw in your inventory.
Click on the claw. There we go. Can I add karma to that?
You can, yes.
Because claw shape is my thing.
Well, so unarmed attack is a
Both
talent, right?
both the talents, yeah.
So you can add karma to the attack and the damage roll.
Oh, can I add 2 karma?
You can add 1 karma to the attack and 1 karma to the damage roll.
Got you. Okay. Thank you. So there we go.
Nice.
And I roll damage.
Yep, you didn't target the one that you were going after, though.
Sorry, I forgot.
That's right.
There we go. Do you want me to apply damage?
That added. Yeah, that's on 2d6 plus 1, so that's already added karma.
Okay, and now I need to target.
So
Sorry.
that's 13 damage. No, sorry, I'll do it on this one.
Okay. Aha!
And its wound threshold is that is just above 5 above his wound threshold.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a knockdown test at step 1. Or difficulty 1, rather. Which makes he is not knocked down.
Yet.
It was unlikely, but he is quite wounded by your attack.
Well, yes.
And Per is up next.
Beautiful. So Per is going to move to here to get this one.
Yeah, if you can remember to target, please.
I am targeting as we speak, which is... Which button do I press?
Hover your mouse over and press T.
There we go. Thank you. Now, Per is going to bite. So... Can I use any karma for Per? He doesn't
Per does not have karma.
have karma, no.
Nice.
That is beautiful, isn't it? Roll damage.
Yeah.
Go on, Per!
Actually,
Sick him. Yes!
I've changed that damage because he wouldn't have had to make a knockdown test anyway. I forgot to take his armor off. Yeah, go ahead and apply damage then.
There we go.
Because you targeted. Yep, cool. Doesn't need a knockdown test. Well done, Mindy Lell Per, Ashulian.
I'm lining the axe up as if I'm, I don't know, you know how you like putt in golf, but an awful lot harder. Aiming his head in an attempt to get it through the doorway and leave his body on the other side of it. I raise the axe and slam it down. So we'll do it like this.
So he's knocked down. Hang on a moment. Oh yeah, I've clicked knockdown, so that should change the difficulty.
Okay.
When you
It's not saying any step modifier. It's hang on. Let's just look at modifier difficulties. Active modifiers. Aggressive side. Okay, looks like it is doing all that. And then I'm going to use one karma.
And it should have a -3 to his defense.
24. It did have, yeah. 24.
Yeah.
3 extra successes.
That's
Wow.
beautiful.
Right, okay. Difficulty 24. Karma, yes. Yeah.
Roll damage.
Gonna be unlikely.
And I don't get to. I can't use karma on this, even though because that requires something to do with the weapon, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't use karma on damage rolls at your circle and your discipline.
Okay.
Mindy Lau can because claw shape's a talent.
Good. Yeah. But so is melee attack a talent for me. I don't see why that's different.
Because claw shape is so. Mindy
I see,
Lau
so it's like a
will
spell basically.
Unarmed combat
Gotcha, yeah.
as a talent, and then claw shape as a talent
Yeah,
for
so
damage.
it's not
So
the
it's
unarmed
magically
combat that
enhanced.
gives the damage, it's the other
Yeah.
thing. So apply damage.
Yep. 1 unconscious windling.
Not for
Nice!
Have the others like stopped attacking us now?
Oh, they will.
So I'll just point out, I'll just say now, if I'm not sure I made it absolutely clear earlier, the Loster's Lawgivers will only give you the money for Makari alive, whereas
Torgak
dead or alive for Torgak. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I made that distinction just in case you wanted to make some decisions based on that. In a rage, a raging Zoak attempts to rake you with its claws, Ashulian. That's some difficulty.
I'm
Getting
going to
4 extra successes.
I'm going to avoid blow.
In an
We'll see
absolute
about that.
rage.
Yeah. Do I need to put a difficulty in avoid blow or just roll it?
Put the difficulty in as 26, yeah.
Right, I see. He obviously hits me.
For 23 damage, which is 20 after I'm applied. Make a knockdown test at difficulty 5. So that's a toughness test.
Do I need to put
Or is it a
difficulty
strength
5?
test?
Would make an awful
Yeah,
lot
so-
more sense if it was strength.
It's a strength test. It's a strength test, not toughness. Yeah. Apologies.
Hold on a second, because this is another thing where we got like I've got wound balance, haven't I? Wasn't that to do with knockdown test?
So you can make a wound balance test instead of a strength test, because it adds your ranks in wound balance to your strength.
Yeah, cool. So difficulty 5.
And if it's a talent, you can use karma on it.
It's not a skill.
It's a skill, yeah.
Jesus.
Rule of one, yeah, but yeah. So yeah,
I mean, this is one of those things where role-playing produces an absurd situation of like this several £100 thing knocking over by a tiny little flying lizard. And that's why we love the dice.
So he drags his claws down your hamstring on your left leg,
Yeah, right.
dropping you to the floor.
We'll just say some mystical incident occurs. Leave it at that before my belief is totally suspended.
Thorndor.
I declared that I was going to move here,
Yep.
and then I declared that I was going to hit Makari. Now he's down. Do I have to stick to that? Or...
You can change the target of your attack.
Yeah, well, I've just seen as Zoak.
If you're moving to the same place, if you have another, if there wasn't another target there, you would lose the attack essentially. But as there's another target,
Yeah, so I've just seen a Zoak take down a Shulian, so I'm going to hit the Zoak.
Do it.
Allegedly. Not like that.
no, not like that. Okay, Thug's turns. So again, this Thug was going to attack you, Thorndor, but you've moved, so it's now going after Mindy Lel.
It can try.
And fails. This one is also going to go after Mindy Lel. And fails. And then this one is going to... Sorry, this one over here is going to target Mindy Lel as well with his sling. They're not very good shots. And this one is going to target Thorndor with his sling.
Do I get any bonus for being half concealed in the doorway or not?
Not if you're coming out enough to attack the Zoak, no. And he hits.
Oh,
Do you want to try and avoid that?
to dodge that. Do you want me to put in difficulty 8 or?
Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. You avoid it completely. Just as it's about to hit you, just sidestep out the way. Sol.
I'm gonna weave air armor.
Yeah, you already rolled it, didn't you? So we'll take that result.
Okay. So that's
Where
my
were
turn
we?
then.
It's all the way back up there, wasn't it? Oh, you got an extra success. So you
Okay.
can add that. You can either... yeah. So
It's gonna be next turn,
weave
isn't
an
it?
extra thread. You can weave an extra thread to it.
Where do I do that? Do I just press weave?
Yes. Hang on a minute. Spells. Active threads. Air armor. If I just change active threads to 3. There we go. Yeah. So you've got 3 active threads now.
Nice. Very nice.
And Makari is not doing anything right now.
No.
Okay, let's have declarations for the next round. Makari is going to lie on the floor and bleed. Howland is going to go mental at Ashulian. The thugs are going to carry on attacking. So 2 attacking. Well, the one to this one here is going to attack Mindy Lel. This one's going to attack Per. This one's going to fire a sling at Thorndor. And this one is going to attempt to fire a sling at Per this time. Thorndor, what are you doing?
I'm going to go into an aggressive attack, and I'm going to go all out against that Zoac, because it's trying to claw a friend of mine on the ground, so I'm just basically just jumping at it. I'm not
Going aggressive
thinking
attack. Yeah.
self-preservation.
Yep. Sol?
I'm going to cast air armor
On yourself?
on myself. I think that will use up 1 thread, won't it? And then I'm going to cast it on Ashudian as well. I'll use it for 2nd thread. And then
So no, it'll use all the threads to cast it.
okay, that's
And
fine.
then it depends on the result of the spellcasting test.
So I'm going to cast it on
The
myself,
threads.
and then I'll see what the extra threads do when I roll. Okay.
Oh no, sorry, additional threads, apologies. So you've got 1 additional thread, so you can do an extra target, yeah.
Yeah. So
Additional
I'll target
successes
Ashudian
increase
with that.
duration. Yeah,
That's your
Yeah.
it takes 2 threads, yeah.
Mhm.
My apologies.
That's fine.
Ashulian.
So I'm reading up jump up 2, it says, allows a character to stand up and use a standard action, no other movement allowed. So
Yeah, it
that's-
costs 2 strain. So you take 2 points of damage. And then
right,
make a,
I see. Okay. Can I combine that?
make a,
It doesn't say there's any roll.
you can,
attack.
yes, yeah, because otherwise standing up is an action.
Right, so let me just run through what I want to do. I want to jump up. I'll take the 2 points of damage. I then want to go. I want to be in a defensive stance, and I want to use Fireblood. which
Right,
is
so you
a-
can only use 1 combat option a round.
Okay. So I can use jump up, but I can't use defensive.
That's right, yeah.
What's the penalty for being knocked down?
Penalty is -3 to all defenses and -3 steps to all tests.
Right. Okay. So obviously jumping up is better, and then that's
Sorry,
why I'll
-3 penalty, not -3 steps. Yeah. And jump up is a dexterity difficulty 6 test to succeed in the maneuver.
Oh, so you take the strain and you have to roll for it.
Yeah.
Not doing that then. I'm just going to get up.
Okay.
That's all I can then do. And I suppose I can take defensive stance.
Yeah.
I can stand up and be in a defensive stance.
Yeah. You can stand. Yeah. You can do it that way.
I'll be most
Yeah. Standing is a
PO'd.
simple matter, but uses the character's standard action to get back on his feet. So you can.
Indeed,
So if you
standard
just
action.
take standing up, you can move, and take another combat option opposed to jumping up.
Okay. Thanks
So
very much.
your intention is just to stand up, yeah, and take a defensive stance.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. It's actually rolled initiative this time. There we go.
Can
That's
we
better.
can we
Supposed
update
to
the
do.
combat options? Is that possible? Because it doesn't. It's a bit annoying. It doesn't tell you that you've got to roll for some of these. So they
Right,
look like
okay.
they're options, but they're obviously requiring a test.
Yeah,
It makes a difference when we're.
Yeah, I just did the copy of the table. So at the bottom it says full details on the page that it's on.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
can't look at the PDF whilst I'm
Oh,
recording.
no, you can't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, man. So if we're having a guide, it would be much appreciated if we can just incorporate into it, like where there's a test that attaches.
Yeah, I'll do that for next time. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
That's really helpful.
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I forgot you can't look at the.
I'm sorry, it's a peculiar situation to be in, which is like non-standard, right?
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, Sol, you are up first.
Okay.
So make
So,
a spell
casting.
test.
Yeah.
What was the difficulty? I believe it was against target's mystic defense. So whichever's the highest out of yours and Ashulian's mystic defense was the difficulty.
There's Mystic Defense.
My mystic defense. Oh, hang on. So does defensive stance? That's kicked in, right?
Yep, because you've declared it. Yeah. You can optionally drop your mystic defense, but you will then drop it for the entire round.
How can I see what my Mystic Defense
How
is?
could I know he's casting a spell on me? So I mean that would be
Yeah, it's
absurd.
on your armor, on your defense ratings, on your characteristics sheet, you've got physical defense, mystic defense, social defense.
My mystic defense is apparently it's currently 5, but it's also saying my physical defense is 5, where because I'm knocked down, but it's not taking into account my the fact that I've got the defensive stance, which should counteract being knocked down.
Yeah.
So,
Have you got them both clicked? Have you?
yeah. I can unclick defensive stance, see if that makes a difference. It doesn't make any difference. Put it back in. Does that mean that it doesn't apply when you're on the ground? Or will it just take it into account if I'm targeted? Could be just.
Try unclicking knockdown and see what happens. Yeah, that changes it back.
It changes and puts it at 11, which it wouldn't normally be. So that gives me the bonus.
That gives you the bonus, yeah.
So if I then put knockdown, it takes it down to 5.
Yeah, so the mystic defense bonus doesn't work until you're standing.
Is that
Right.
right, or is that just the character sheet applying that?
I will check between now and next session.
Okay.
We'll take it as right for now, and I'll double check that. Otherwise, yeah. It seems to make sense that you can't take a defensive stance whilst knocked down, but yeah. So it makes it easier for
But you
spells
see,
to be
this
cast
is
anyway.
the problem with so things work when you declare them, except when they don't. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because I got the
Yeah,
penalties for aggressive stance instantly before I'd even made an attack. But now I'm in terms of, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little bit.
No, I see your point. And I will.
It's fine. It's just as long as there's consistency, which it's rules
Yeah.
are. Yeah. Don't consider every situation. right?
Anyway, Soul's mystic defense is higher than yours anyway,
Yeah.
even if you have
Yeah.
the +3 on it. So, so it's 9. So that's 14. That's 1 extra success. So you can. What can you do with those extra successes? I did read it. You can increase the duration by 2 rounds.
I can increase the
So-
duration. I can target an extra person as well, can't I?
Those are extra
Right.
additional threads, which is what you declared when you rolled the extra thread. You declared that you were targeting a Shulian as well.
Yeah.
So you and a Shulian both have a +3 to your physical armor.
Mm.
And
It's asking me to roll the effect.
yeah, you don't need to roll the effect because that's just a standard thing for spells, but this has a standard
Okay.
effect. So 8 rounds for 10 rounds, you both have +3 to your physical defense.
Good.
Why do I actually use that? +3 to the physical defense, or
Yes.
to armor. It's the same thing, right? Or not?
There's a physical armor thing under armor
It's
ratings.
physical armor, apologies. Physical armor, not physical defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if it
apologise.
goes under that, under physical armor and characteristic.
Not really mod it, can you?
Nope. There's
Howland's
probably-
coming in for another bite. I'm going to give you that defensive stance by changing the difficulty to 8. Still got 3 extra successes. Do you
I'm
want to try and
avoiding
avoid
blow.
that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'm just trying to do that, give myself this additional armor. Yeah.
So another 16 damage.
Yeah, but don't apply it.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. Okay, hold on a second, because it's 13 damage. Isn't it? 12. It should only be 10 damage. So,
10 damage, yeah.
and how is my damage total up to 49 all of a sudden?
Because it's added 13 on.
Yeah, and it wasn't 36 before.
It was you were very low on health. Taking a lot of damage. You took 23. You took 20 last round,
Right.
and you took
Yeah, that's
a
fine.
load in the first round as well. But there should be 3 lower, so it should be 46.
Yeah.
Your
Well, I'm
total damage.
unconscious.
Yeah, you are unconscious. Per.
Right, so Per is going to go in for another bite.
On the same one, yeah?
Yep,
Don't forget to target it first.
it is targeted.
Marvellous.
And no karma, because... But I'll take that.
Yep.
An extra success. Let's roll some damage. That's very nice. And then shall we see how vicious the bitey bite is?
Click apply damage.
Hooray! He must be dead now.
He's not dead. But he's upset, certainly. And it's your go next, Mindilel.
Cool. So, I'm going to target the same one. Because I want this one gone.
You declared you were targeting the other one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, he's
But
still...
the target's
I was
still there.
thinking of moving, but we can't
Yeah.
move because that target's still there. So, here we go. Right. So I don't need to do claw shape, I just roll claw attack, yeah?
Just roll claw attack, yeah.
Cool. There we go. How does that rock you?
That's a hit.
Fab.
Has no avoid blow talent.
And 9.
That didn't add your karma, though, this time.
Oh,
Whereas it did last time. Maybe because you clicked claw shape first. Is there a dice roll on here? Just roll a d6 for me. /R1d6. Oh, I'm not targeting Ashulian. Sorry, Ashulian, you'll have to... That just gave you 9 damage that you shouldn't have taken.
I rolled a 1.
Right, so that takes 4 and another 1. Right. Apologies, Ashulian.
Apply damage.
I've done that. Done it for you.
Thank you.
thugs' turns. Oh, that's the T rather than the Y. He's going to stab you back. Actually hitting you this time with an extra success. Do you have a void blow?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Oh, hold on. Let me just check, because I'm fairly certain I don't. Yes, I do. Hooray!
Give me an avoid blow roll at difficulty 16.
Ah, that's going to be challenging. Oh!
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Nicely done. You
Wow.
dodged out of the way. The other one's going after Per
Ooh, little bugger.
and missing.
Yay.
This one's going after Thorndor. Hitting.
I'll try and avoid that.
Yep. Difficulty 5. Yep, you avoid it. Nicely done. And this one is also going after Per. Absolutely not. Ashulian, you are unfortunately unconscious.
Yep.
Thorndor.
Yep, I'm stabbing that lizard thing.
Yep.
Hopefully. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm coming your aid, Ashulian. One miss swing at a time.
Makari is also unconscious. Right, I'm aware of the time. We okay to finish
Yeah.
this combat?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do another round or two, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be back.
Declarations. So the thugs are going to carry on with their same attacks. Howland is going to turn his attention to Thorndor now. Sol, what are you doing?
Can I use my skills as a physician? So I've got that. And could I use roll for injury and wounds and try and heal Ashulian or stabilize him or something?
No, you could use a potion if you have one.
We have them.
We have them. Okay then.
You did
Where
have
do
a
I-
potion each, I believe, a booster potion each, right?
Yes.
So you can
Yes.
use a booster potion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where is it in? Inventory.
If you put it in there.
And
We haven't used ours, and we all had one. So
You all
Yes.
had one, so you have got one. And that will allow Ashulian to make a recovery test at +5 step bonus.
okay. How do I? Not in my inventory, so how do I?
Don't worry about it for now. It's
Okay,
all
then.
fine. You have got one, and then you won't have one, so there's no point putting one in your inventory.
But I will,
All right,
obviously,
then.
I will give you mine when I wake up, if I wake up.
No, that's cool.
Thorndor, what are you doing?
I am, as the thing turns round, still trying to keep hitting it. I'll take its wing out.
Cool.
So I can kick it.
Mindy Lel?
I'm going to stab the thugs. I'm gonna. I'll go with the one in between myself and Sol, and Per is going to move and take out the other Zoak. Is there any kind of attack of opportunity from?
No.
Cool. Yeah, Per's gonna kick Zoak ass.
Cool.
Thank
So
you,
Per
I
was
need
up
the
first.
help.
Cool. Here we go. And let's go here.
So, how many people do you have to be in contact with to become harried?
3. So were you moving Poe over to here, right?
Sorry, yes, yes.
You were going after?
Oh,
Yeah.
bugger. No, I didn't. I've targeted the wrong one. Sorry.
Well, you'll have to retarget and all that again then.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Roll damage.
Yep.
Hooray!
And apply damage.
Come on, Per. Howland takes 5.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thorndor. Per has come to help you take on this absolutely raging, insane Zoak. It's actually a little bit smaller than Per now, the two are together.
I
Quite
definitely
ferocious.
need the help, so I will try and use the distract from the Per to stab it in the wing while it's not looking.
Unfortunately not. Are you moving?
No, no, I can't get between
Right, okay. Well,
Shurian and anyone, so I'm just gonna
he's
stay
going to
on.
have a go at you now then. On his claws.
Little
Do you
bugger.
want to try and avoid that?
Yep.
To get 2d10 for your step modifier. I must have a dexterity of, like, that's insane.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, and you take just 2 damage.
Yeah.
I won't get through the armor, will it?
Nope, doesn't even go through the armor. Sol.
So I'm just gonna use this potion. I don't know. I need to roll.
Yeah, so you're moving over. Probably got enough movement. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah,
I
you
need
can get
12. I
around.
think I have 12, don't I?
Yeah, you
Which
can
way
get
am I
around to
going?
there.
Can I cut through or? Yeah, okay. Oh, I got too far.
So I moved you, then you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll get that.
Yeah. So let me just. I'm sure it's +5.
Uh,
So let me just have a quick look because I can find it pretty quickly. Healing aid descriptions. Booster potion +8. Yeah. So you can take an immediate recovery test with a +8.
Thank you.
Good.
Is that enough to bring you conscious?
Don't think so. Oh, maybe, yeah. Just under.
Yeah. Julian just opens an eye. So on your initiative, Julian, you may stand up, or I'll allow you to use a use of fire blood if you want. The thugs are carrying on, so 2 of them on Mindy Lowell now because one of the targets is gone.
Aha.
Fails. Oh, wrong one. Sorry, ignore that. That was a sling. Still rolled a 2. Still misses.
I'm very nimble.
yeah. You really are.
This
I'm
one was targeting Per.
Wings and fury.
Sling. But there are 3 people between it now. Which is going to add 3 to the difficulty number. Yeah, no chance. This one is targeting Thorndor still. Only one of them that's rolled decent to attack is Howland.
Yeah, Howland's made his mark.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I think next round instead of next. That's messed up the order. Apologies, it was a Shulian next anyway.
Right. So I'm prone, so I'm going to get a penalty to Fireblood from being prone. Is that right?
Is Fireblood an action?
It's a standard action.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, you are.
Difficulty. I'm going to use Karma anyway.
I don't think there is a difficulty. So yeah. So you use up a recovery test and you immediately heal a number of damage points equal to the result of his Fireblood test.
Wow. So
Yeah,
it
so
is
that's
definitely
five.
when it says -3, it's definitely applying that to. That's the step modifier. That's what
Is it?
this is what this game is. This is what the character sheet's doing, because I should be rolling 2d6 for toughness. Plus I've got Fireblood, which since I've got 2 ranks in it, would raise me up to step 10 on that. And if it's supposed to be a set
Yeah,
number,
because that would be
several times
would
it's
be
been.
the equivalent. Yeah, that's wrong. Okay, so
It's
roll
also
again,
been
change
doing
the
that
step
to other
modifier.
roles throughout this combat session,
Yeah.
where the modifier
Because
for
that'd be the
aggressive
equivalent of
stance, for
having 3
example.
wounds, which seems excessive. A -3 step modifier would be the same as having 3 wounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's been doing that
Okay.
with all the combat modifiers. They've not been
Right,
numbers,
okay.
they've been step modifiers,
Okay.
which possibly explains some rather incredible.
Possibly does explain some strange occurrences. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I will look at that in between this session and next session.
appreciate
And,
it.
yeah, we may change the way
So
we're doing
that's
things. So
37.
roll that again. Roll that again.
Oh.
Take out the step modifier. Put in the well, yeah.
If I just take
we'll
off
take 3
knockdown
off.
and then I roll Fireblood and then
Yeah,
hang on, give myself my karma back.
and then just take 3 off whatever the result is.
Yeah.
There we go. 9. So you get 9 health back. Yeah. Okay. Well spotted there, Luke.
It's all right.
Obviously, this is getting to grips with a system and an implementation on a VTT.
It's not easy
now we're
to do with
understanding
the
the system
maths.
a bit more. We're
Programming on no criticism of the person who made the character sheet. I know it's difficult because I've tried doing stuff on Foundry.
Yeah. Everybody else has been this round, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we were
I
actually
think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's getting late, isn't it?
Very exciting. Awesome.
It is
So very
exciting,
sorry to
but-
leave this in the middle of combat, and it's possibly a bit of a shorter video than usual. We had some technical difficulties in the middle, so there'll be quite a bit cut out of this. Thank you for my players for bearing with me with getting to grips with this strange combat system and the Foundry implementation, which we've obviously picked up on some bugbears tonight. Which I will look at between now and next week, so it's a bit more streamlined. Thank you very much to Ian and to Phil and Kieran and Luke for being, again, fabulous players.
Thank you for running this.
Thank you for watching. Playing Earthdawn 4th edition, available from FASAGames.com. and the Foundry virtual tabletop port of that. And Luke has a little message for you.
Yeah, it's the old begging message about liking and subscribing, because basically if you watch a YouTube channel and you see that they've got less than 1,000 subscribers and you've enjoyed any part of it, right, you kind of need to like and subscribe, because that makes the difference between that YouTube channel carrying on producing material and disappearing below the waves. So if you want to see something of playing lots of different systems, we've got Blade Runner up, we've got Earthdawn we're running at the moment. Damien's doing a great job with it, which despite the technical difficulties, I think it's we're having a blast, all of us. We've got other things in the pipeline to do with different systems. So there is a particular system that dominates everything and probably has more YouTube views than any other, and that's great. But if you want a little bit of variety, it's channels like ours, small ones, that are going to show you that variety. So, don't just go where everyone else goes. Come here, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. It makes sense.
Be a leader, not a follower.
Yeah.
But follow us.
Be a follower of us. Okay. You know what he's saying. I agree. I endorse it, but
Leave the herd by following us.
Yes, join our herd.
Yeah.
It's a cult.
Thank you so much, people. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Bye guys. Bye.
Bye bye.